Welcome back to class number 4 of Social Media Foundations. We're going to be focusing on niching down and speaking to your ideal audience. Most agents grow quite slowly on Instagram, and that is because they try to focus on too many people. A lot of agents are going to try to speak to buyers, sellers, landlords, tenants, and that massively confuses the Instagram algorithm. The Instagram algorithm simply cannot figure out who you're trying to speak to and who the content should be pushed to. And therefore, the content is not pushed and the growth is very, very slow and painful. So what does niching down actually means? We are not saying that you should reject other business, that you should limit who you work with. It just means that you need to specialize in a category and be a leader in that category. You will market primarily to one audience and position yourself clearly. You can work with anyone, but you're not going to be making content for everyone. You'll be niching down into one very specific person. Instagram rewards that focus. By creating content that really nails down a specific person, it will push your content to the right audience and people will relate faster and your growth will accelerate massively. So this is what you want to do. Niche down, find an ideal audience so that Instagram can grow your page. So who should you be making your content for? Ideally, that would be your ideal customer. I know that some agents might say, oh, but I want sellers and I want landlords and I want buyers and tenants. There is a way to get everything. You just need to think about it and make sure that you choose the right niche to be able to get the right people. So a niche can be, I'm going to niche down into sellers, I'm going to niche down into buyers, but it needs to be really specific. So it can be a specific area, it can be a specific price point, it could be a buyer type, it could be a life stage. So for example, you could niche down into first-time buyers, prime buyers, upsizers, landlords, relocators. Always bring it back to a specific location. So first-time buyers in Manhattan, prime buyers in prime London. Whatever it is, make sure that you are really niching down. For example, my niche isn't social media. My niche is social media for estate agents. And that makes it so much easier for me to grow because everyone wants to talk about social media. But you're here because I know how to grow social media specifically for you. And that's the same thing for your ideal audience and your niche. So I would say I would always pick, an area and something that goes along with it. So it could be a price point within a specific area. I think that can work quite well. A buyer or seller type in a specific area, it can work really well. So just think a bit about where you are, what you're focusing on, and who makes the most sense. I think normally what I would look at is look at who your clients are and find an overarching theme that would work for most of your clients. And normally most of your clients are within a specific niche. So why does niching down actually make you grow faster? Once you've got your niche and you've got your ideal audience, your messaging becomes so much sharper and your content feels personal, feels like you can connect with your audience very quickly. And on top of that, Instagram learns much more quickly who to target and can push your content to the right people. If you're trying to speak to everyone, you're actually speaking to no one because your content isn't going to be seen. You want to focus on one primary audience and not 4 different types. You can have subcategories, but 80% of your content should really be to that primary audience. And sometimes you can bring in other themes that might be speaking to other people, but overall, it should be obvious who you're talking to. So how does your audience choice actually affect your content? Your content will become a lot more obvious, and your tone will become more natural, and your hooks will become easier. And that's because you know who you're talking to, right? If you're talking to prime London buyers, you're going to be talking about spec and luxury and pools and gyms. If you're talking to first-time buyers in East London, you're going to be talking about how to save for a deposit and how to find the best deal on the market. It's completely different, and you just can't speak to everyone at the same time. So you need to focus in and make content that's going to speak to that audience. Okay, amazing. So what to do now? Figure out who your ideal audience is, your ideal client, and write it down. Choose one primary audience to go with that, and decide who you're not going to be posting for. And that will really center your content. So I hope that you now have a clear audience and a defined niche, and hopefully a faster path to growing. The next step will be putting all of this into a content strategy. So thanks so much. And next, we've got what you should actually be posting.